岁月、环境、规则 ，LPL 在不断改变。6年中，有许多人问我，你为什么还在坚持？这局游戏对你究竟意味着什么？
全军出击！
我见过最美的风景，也听过最热烈的欢呼。为了所有这些，我愿意付出一切。
这局游戏是一段旅途，有人中途停留，也有人会做到最后，而终点只不过是另一个起点。
50的血量，50的血量！
我不懂那么多是非曲折，这局游戏赢就对了。
이번 게임의 낭만은 0부터 100처럼 무명에서부터 이름을 날리는 것이다.
我从来都没有后悔过自己走过的路。 这局游戏的魅力就在于创造奇迹。
많은 사람들이 전설을 보는 것에 열광하지만 다른 사람들이 그 뒤에서 흘리는 땀에 대해서는 잘 보지 못합니다. 하지만 이러한 땀이 없었다면 저희는 다시 이곳으로 돌아오지 못했을 겁니다.
欢迎来到英雄联盟。
会变的是人和环境，不变的是游戏最后的胜利画面。
我明白，这场游戏就是成王败寇。
但是不到最后，我不会放弃对王冠的追逐。
这局游戏需要牺牲，无私奉献，去成就团队的胜利。
他还需要领袖，不管遇到什么困难，都和同伴一起扛下去。
是我最喜欢的玩具。
LPL 需要年轻的力量，是时候让我们来接管比赛了。
想成为这场游戏的主角吗？打败我吧！我们的时代还远没有结束。
Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of myself, my co-casters, and the whole production crew, this has been the LPL, and that's going to do it for today. Welcome back, everyone. The LPL is upside down because it's April Fools, and we are deciding who are the last teams to go to playoffs. Of course, in order to do that, we've got to have a couple of jokes ourselves on our end of the broadcast. Welcome, folks. My name is Dom. Joining me here, we've got Clement Chu. How are you?
I'm actually a bit nervous. April Fools isn't really a big part of my culture. I thought you were going to toss to end and we were just going to leave the stage.
We were going backwards. We were going from the end to the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
The man of the match for you will be... No,
yeah, you can see it on your screen right now. Of course, let's take a look at that replay. No, let's actually start from the beginning today. Like I said, it's the last day of Week 9, and as playoffs are approaching us, we've got some really cool stuff coming at you. Let's take a look at the standings and see where everything lies, because today is a vitally important day. Things to take note of. BLG could lock in a playoff spot. On the other side, Jingdong, if they lose, could be eliminated.
Yeah, there's a lot of high priority matches today. At the end of today, we do have SNG versus Jingdong as our e-commerce wars. These two have been butting heads the entire split, and this one is going to decide who gets to go to playoffs.
Of course, with RNG's loss yesterday, Rogue Warriors clinched a quarterfinal berth. It's Invictus Gaming who took the semifinal spot with their victory just before that.
And this is not actually an April Fool's joke, but
yes.
But RNG actually lost to LGD.
Yes.
LGD.
That was yesterday. That was before April Fools. So, of course, that being said, we've still got some excited matches coming at you today. OMG versus BLG in our first set. If BLG 2-0 over OMG, they lock in a spot into playoffs.
Rising stars of the West right now, and probably against one of the most disappointing teams in OMG, should be heavily favored.
Of course, just after that, we've got FPX taking on, I believe that was Snake, so there's a chance for FPX to claim their final playoff spot. And then in the last game of the day, our e-commerce wars, Jingdong versus Suning. Again, these are two massive online distributors here in China, the Amazon versus the eBay of, I guess, the Chinese world. And these are two really big teams fighting for the final spot.
And they both give out discounts at the venue. So
You
if you
keep
want
saying
those,
that. You
you
keep
have
on
to come
talking
over
about
here.
this. You gotta keep on talking about it.
I'm a
Okay.
thrifty person.
Of course, trying to save money. But let's get into the actual first matchup. OMG versus BLG. Bilibili Gaming are now about to take a battle against OMG in Chengdu. You just saw the stadium a moment ago. And this is actually a pretty important game for BLG. They still have not locked in a playoff spot. They're close, but it's not locked yet. And they really want to do so here.
And it's really telling that they are sending in their rookie squad of Mole and Chieftain into the mid-end jungle over Athena and SKS in a match that is so important for them. If they win here a clean 2-0, then they will guarantee themselves a spot in playoffs. And we do have to talk about the two newcomers in BLG and what they have revamped the team into right now.
Yeah, Chieftain and Mole are doing work for the likes of BLG. As you can see, you have to compare it to who was there before. Yeah. SKS and Athena.
It's been unfortunate. Athena and SKF have been playing a lot more of this split, but if you look at the stats, everything supports Chieftain and Mole. The kill participation does go towards them, and if you look at the @15 stats, they actually generate double the amount of kills just between the two of them. If you look at the goal difference, they do play for lane a lot better than Athena as well at a plus 152 compared to a minus almost 300. So if you're coming into this match and thinking BLG, they're not going to do anything until 30 minutes, you're going to have a really bad time because they will hit you very hard and very early.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. I remember watching their games. You and I were sitting here on the analyst desk, and you said, if you turn off the nameplates right now, you wouldn't believe that's BLG because Athena would never be that far into the enemy jungle trying to go for a gank.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that along with the extra jungle control, they've also freed up Road. Just like his name suggests, he really likes to hit the road, but he didn't have a place to roam in the previous BLG rosters. There was no action happening in the mid or the top lane. Now with the mid going for kills, Road has some place where he can make plays. BLG is much faster, they're much more dynamic, and they're much more of a threat early game.
So this actually creates a very fun conversation for BLG because Athena and SKS seems like they finally had a good beginning to the split. But Clement, it's week 9. Yeah. Playoffs are still just around the corner, and BLG hasn't locked a spot in. Why are BLG turning to these two now?
Well, it's basically for all the reasons stated above, and I do think they have a very strong showing with the two rookies right here. I think they will be the duo that will continue to play playoffs, and I'm going to make a bold statement right here. I feel like BLG actually has the best mid and bot synergy right now out of any team in the West. Now, we're not looking at the East, only the West. And I think they are on the top of that. You look at EDG, Haru, Mako, not really there. Celestial Magic, still too new. And then you have Crystal for Snake. So looking down the roster, BLG, this is a statement game from them. They could very well be the best team of the West.
Ooh, we'll have to see if that's the case. Of course, the way to start that is with a win over OMG in Chengdu in front of their own fans. OMG certainly struggling lately, though they do still have some strong individual performances. It's not quite been enough to get them wins as they have already been eliminated from playoffs.
It's never a good sign when the coach tells you that they don't have a clear direction, and he's apologizing to all the fans of OMG.
Here you can see the team lineups. BLG on the blue side for game 1. Amazing J, Chieftain, and Mole, as we were talking about, along with Jin Zhao and the freshly unlocked Road.
Oh yeah, definitely. Road has been picking up MVP after MVP in the recent series. Really has found a home with this new jungle mid duo.
And with this, we've seen some great plays out of BLG. Hopefully it'll continue. OMG, though, trying to bring them down. Xiyoung Jieko in the jungle. Icon in the mid lane with Chelly and 5.
Fire Loli still obviously battling with nerves, missed a lot of his flashes in the previous set, so they are going back to Jekko. However, Jekko still has the same problem for OMG. He's much more of a conservative jungle, wants to take the second move instead of the first move.
And again, this is a team that has already been eliminated from playoffs. As holy cow, that amazing J-Mask is something else.
He does like his anime, and they are an anime streaming site.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But OMG, you know, they're eliminated from playoffs. They're playing for growth at this point. They're playing for summer split.
Pretty much. So OMG, I call them the most disappointing team. Nobody thought they would be this far down in the roster. They're probably one of the worst teams right now. They've actually lost to Vici and TOP, so it's not looking very hot for them right now.
Yeah.
And we do have to talk about the win conditions, if there will be any. What should BLG be aware of?
There's always a chance. I mean, it's League of Legends. There's always upsets.
So the big thing we're looking at is OMG's solo lanes. Can they find those picks to make those hero plays and win out early and win out really far ahead. And if we look at 8.5, they do have those picks going for them. You have Zoe and Echo and LeBlanc from Icon. He has made some really good plays on them. He could possibly go for that. And also in the top lane with Xiang, Swain is unlocked. We've seen it in the LCK, in the LCS. Swain is a huge pick. If he can make huge picks, huge plays with this Swain, then maybe they have a chance. But this deck is stacked very heavily in BLG's favor.
Yeah, and we know that early game is also a pretty big priority for the likes of OMG, especially if they want to try to compete with BLG, who historically have been a late game team, sort of the long-term miracle makers. But in Spring Split 2018, that's no longer the case. They are also an early game team, especially with Chieftain and Mole.
OMG definitely need to be aware of that because they are a team that likes to play for lane solely. They don't have very comprehensive compositions. On the other hand, BLG has really changed up their playstyle. They aren't the wait 30 minutes, wait till Athena finally wakes up type of composition. They actually do look for action pretty early on, and they've been giving so many counter picks to Mole. So that's going to be the matchup I really look for. Is the Vel'Koz going to win over the Azir coming out from Icon? What does Mole have in his back pocket? We still haven't seen the Swain for him. We know he's a big Zoe player, but there's a lot of action that could come from him.
And we know how mid-jungle is so important here in the LPL. Gieko, a little bit more passive and defensive style jungler. Perhaps there could be some strategy in looking for counter ganks, expecting Chieftain to invade and just being prepared for that.
Yeah, it really is about the 2v2 this match, because the win condition for OMG is pretty much solely going to be attached to Icon at this point. So how can Gieko really set him up for success in that lane? How can he dissuade the ganks coming in are going to be the big keys for him.
Well, we're certainly about to find out. That being said, it's time for us to boomerang blade our way over to Caster Desk.
Thank you, Dom and Clint. Fantastic cast on today. Welcome to the Analyst Desk. I'm your host, Matthew Chicken Stewart. Joining me is Jake Spawn Tabiri, all the way from the OPL. How are you doing today? It's fantastic to have you back in the LPL.
What's up, OPL fans? I hope you're excited for another War Room segment. No, I'm not Spawn at all. Don't get me mixed up again. Fish, it hurts my soul. I'm not as handsome as him.
No, this is... What? This is Zach Rusty Pie, who apparently is not as handsome as Spawn. Self-proclaimed. I didn't say anything about that.
I said it. I'm happy to own that.
We're about to get into Champions Select for the first match of today. It's going to be Bilibili Gaming taking on OMG. Live from the OMG arena, and although OMG can't secure themselves a playoff spot, this game is still important for Bilibili Gaming because a win here could put them one step closer to securing their playoff seed.
Certainly, this is the playoffs for BLG. Of course, it's not their seeding, but they will be secured in that top 4 position. We're going to kick this one off straight away with our pick and ban phase here, and OMG, they are on the back foot. And the analogy that I will use before we get into depth about the pick-ban phase here is that LGD, they've been playing the blue shell for the whole split so far since they've been eliminated, getting upset victories, they've beaten RNG. OMG are the banana, if we're going to use the same analogy. You know, the only way that someone actually falls prey to the banana is if they step on the banana because they've made the mistake. The blue shell can hunt you down. The banana's just there on the ground. That's OMG right now.
Well, hopefully Bilibili Gaming don't slip over the banana and make a banana split instead. Their first pick is going to be Xayah as the AD carry of choice, banning out Alistar, Ryze, as well as Leona, targeting 5 in the bottom lane. Gangplank, Swain, as well as Sejuani with the 3 bans from OMG. They lock in Caitlyn as well as Camille as their first 2 picks.
Yeah, the Caitlyn Camille's decent. The Camille as the second pick is always going to be brought into question. Of course, it can still flex if they really feel the need to do that, but we'll have to explore that as the draft continues. BLG's side, they've got the Xayah. So you're expecting once again to see the Rakan in the next pick phase now that they've locked in the Skarner for themselves. That should round out the 3-man composition of BLG thus far.
Yeah, so OMG decide not to split up the Lovers bottom lane, gives it over to BLG. Let's see what Jinjiao and Road can do with the champions. They've been playing together for quite some time, so you expect them to have decent synergy, these 2 champions.
Yeah.
You'd expect them to.
Rhodes a unique snowflake at times. He doesn't like to play with his AD carry, and often you'll find that Jinjiao is left to his own devices by himself. So it's not always going to be the Lovers duo, whilst it is still that in terms of champions pick. However, they do have a lot of good synergy, and Jinjiao's very cottoned onto the fact that Road plays as he does, and that's where their synergy really is.
They happen to be working together for quite some time. The flip side, OMG decided to lock in Morgana. It's going to be the 7th time, that we've seen Morgana played in the LPL and has been cropping up internationally throughout the latter half of Spring Split.
Certainly has, but only very recently in the LPL specifically. So it is nice to see that once again as a pick into the Xayah Rakan bottom lane. Denies a big part of the engage, very good into the Skarner as well, and it makes telegraphed engaged champions, very difficult to play. Of course, Rakan has the advantage of being pretty instant when he goes forwards and having the AoE there. And I think that the Morgana pick, whilst it's nice into that pre-6, is mostly for the Skarner.
It's really good to pick comps as well. And when you have Caitlyn, it's nice to layer the crowd control to lock people down or a single target down for an incredibly long amount of period of time. Final bans coming out from the two teams though. Galio as well as Zac are going to be taken away by OMG and Bilibili Gaming.
The jungle focus here from BLG away from Jeko.
Yep.
We haven't often seen Jeko. It's been a bit mixture of Fire Lolly, World 6 and himself here and there, and OMG really haven't found the secret recipe in their compositions or in their player roster even. But with the junglers being banned, we'll have to see how they play the rest of this one out, where they want to go and what jungle they want to pick. Sejuani's already gone as well.
OMG are going to be targeting out solo lanes here, with Sion as well as Galio being banned out. They have the Camille, so even though Bilibili Gaming are targeting the jungle pool, they can also flex that into the jungle for Jeko.
They could.
They could.
I don't expect to see that. It's not something that is actively happening as much as it used to be.
The final ban from BLG is going to be LeBlanc, targeting Icon in the mid lane.
Interesting, of course. Icon's got a lot of champions. He's got his Azir that he's been playing recently as well. He seems to be more of a fan of the scaling control mages in that middle lane for the most part. So the LeBlanc ban gets rid of one of his best assassins, one of his signature picks for sure. We've still got a lot of availability here in mid laners, and he has the opportunity to counter pick.
And he's shown time and time again that when he gets that LeBlanc pick, he can carry games. Or he can try his best at least. So BLG doing their best to not slip on that banana peel, take it away from Icon, force him into something else. First pick out of the ban phase is going to be On, most likely in the top lane for Siyoung.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this locked in as well, Fish. Mole has been a fantastic Zoe from what we've seen so far, and no hesitation, the whole composition of BLG is done.
Yep.
Icon does get himself the counter pick on the opposite side here against the Zoe, as he would like. He can go something aggressive, and that would be very cool to see. The Rise is gone, so the traditional counter with the Cleanse is not going to be there, and Unsealed Spellbook, but Cassiopeia exists. If he wants to play something like that as well and just have extra lane pressure.
Mason J's can get Shen to the top lane up against On. And like you mentioned, Mole's going to be picking up Zoe, so Icon does throw the Echo into the mid lane against it.
That's exciting. I love watching Icon play Assassins, and Echo does constitute as one of those. He's been playing it a decent amount recently as well, but I am surprised to see that priority go towards the Echo, and especially the priority going towards the Camille staying into the jungle role and picking the Ornn for the top lane. Overall, OMG's composition, I mean, their skirmishing with the 2v2 has a lot of assassination, a lot of damage, but all of it is outplay required.
Because BLG have gone exactly to what we expected to draft. They have a nice team fighting, a nice skirmishing team composition. OMG, on the other hand, it seems like they're trying to pick people off one by one with that Assassin Echo. And really trying to play around Icon in this match.
As they should. If you're OMG right now, you're having an identity crisis. You don't really know what the best thing is for you currently, so you're exploring your options and what has worked for them in the past. You know, OMG back when they were the 4th best team in the LPL, they went to Rift Rivals, they represented us. It was in part towards Icon, being able to play Assassins, being able to 1v1 in the mid lane. He was called the Assassin for quite an extended period of time for good reason. Now, of course, that's been slowly shifting away. SMLZ became the focal point of OMG. With SMLZ leaving, they needed to refine themselves, refine their identity. And I do think going back to what works around Icon is a good way to do that.
They haven't found that identity so far in this split. Let's see if moving back and focusing more on Icon is going to be successful for OMG. For BLG, it's exactly the same as what we expect from them. They had a decent start to the split on 2018. But throughout cross-conference in the middle of the season, they've been dropping games. Now, dropped them down in terms of ranking, looking to try and secure their playoff spot here and try and make a similar miracle run to what they were able to do when they were previously known as IMA.
Yeah, now they are still, of course, known as the Miracle Makers. Their nickname stays true. They managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat when it's necessary, but this isn't one of those sets, Fish, where you would expect to need to see a miracle or something amazing happen. You just need to see solid, clean play from BLG. You want to see a 2-0. You want to see them cement their place in the playoffs for the LPL Spring 2018.
It's their time to make a statement. Anything less is not great for them moving into the playoffs.
I mean, frankly, OMG taking a game is not the ideal scenario for BLG. They're not locked into the playoffs like IG are. They're not able to experiment with compositions. They've gone for a reasonably standard pick composition, you would imagine. The Skarner Zoe works very well together. So they're going to be able to generate a lot of picks, and Skarner, of course, can follow up with the extra picks at the end. Xayah, Rakan, very hard to kill, and Shen for the skirmishing strength, the taunt to follow up. I really like the skirmishing that they've picked for themselves, especially into the Assassins. I think the Shen pick was the real MVP of the draft so far for BLG, if they're able to use it appropriately.
Then it begs the question, where do OMG target? Because again, you mentioned that they're trying to play around Icon. Icon has the Assassin, but they're into such a heavy skirmishing composition against BLG, who can go to late game. How do OMG pick that apart?
One thing that is super cool for OMG is actually how the Assassins will be working, and we'll get to see this in effect once we get into the game, but a Camille and an Echo aren't your traditional Zed Talon type Assassins. They have crowd control, they have utility. They've actually got more in their kit. Healing, it's also there from the Echo ultimate, the Camille W. So they can actually still outplay you in a higher degree of success, and they can teamfight as a result of that.
Well, let's see if OMG can play around their jungler mid lane. Let's get onto the rift for game number 1. OMG taking on BLG.
Good morning.
I know they're there, but they're not talking.
That's too bad we're fighting.
Xiang's actually caught out of position here, going to take quite a bit of damage. May force into flash away. Good Black Shield keeps him safe. Now the rest of OMG trying to retreat away from BLG. They woke up halfway through the fight though, Rusty.
They realized it was fighting. It's still going.
Yeah, they're still trying to lock down Icon. In fact, he might just be dead here. Taken down. First blood picked up by Mole. Nice and early for BLG.
Skarner, of course, hitting the stun there. The follow-up very evident from BLG. Not really a lot of summoner spells needed, just the flash from Chieftain. And Icon doesn't use one of his own, so it's actually an equal summoner spell trade in the end. But a first blood goes over to a Zoe. And look, it's not the Zoe that you know and dislike of old. She's not incredibly broken, but if you give her a kill, she can still one-hit you. However, she started E. So it's not going to be the ideal level 1 laning phase for a Zoe. She's just going to be awkwardly last hitting. And Echo will get back to lane, not miss minions.
But Mole will be happy with that. He's comfortable taking that first blood, gets the extra 450 gold. We'll be able to recall pick up items later on. Chelly in the bottom lane, though, just takes so much damage.
Yeah, speaking of level 1 spells that needed to be started, 5 started with the Black Shield. He didn't have the binding, so he had no presence in lane. At level 1, BLG, they actually just use Rakan's W to zone and to close distance so that he can apply damage, with both starting with their maximized damage output spells as well. Jin Zhao having the W, they're just aggressive. They just go forward, and they will win every single trade.
Even though the knockup doesn't connect thanks to the shield that comes out from Morgana, it's not going to matter. BLG just deals so much damage. It's still patch 8.5, so we haven't seen the changes that affect the Xayah Rakan combo at level 1. Still very strong. Despite that, OMG still get the push advantage. Potions were burnt by the AD carrying support. Doesn't matter, still pushing it against Jin Zhao Road in the mid lane. Taking a look at Mole, who is a level up over Icon. It's a slight EXP lead, has that extra kill. It's gone for perfect timing.
I wouldn't say that this is a conventional Zoe rune setup at all, particularly because he's gone towards domination in his secondary tree. He hasn't gone towards sorcery or anything. Extra healing, but most importantly, even having sudden impact is a curious one. Now, of course, it will work with the ultimate, but that's not your average run-of-the-mill Zoe setup that we see.
Really trying to maximize the extra damage she's going to get from the range of Battlestar. Curious. We'll have to see how it works out for them. But besides the level 1 action that we saw in the bottom lane, haven't seen too much since in this match.
This is an interesting stat that you'll note about BLG. They usually have Athena playing as well. So SKS and Athena now missing in the jungle and mid lane position. The stats you can see have been reflected very positively from BLG's performances after subbing them in. Gold difference in 20 has shifted drastically. The team jungle percentage has actually gone up quite a significant amount, and that is jungle camps that your team takes from your opponents. So the average control of the jungle position on the map, that has gone up a lot. And their KDA has actually gone from 9th to 1st. KDA is not a very significant stat, but going to 1st from 9th is a big deal.
I'll talk about that a little bit further because Mole is about to get ganked here by Jericho. Flashes away nice and early. Trouble Bubble will put Camille to sleep. Jericho takes a bit of damage, so does Icon. Chieftain's actually waiting in the wings in case anything goes south for Mole. And on top of that, not only were they able to get their KDA up, but previously, BLG were a team that were always behind 20 minutes into the match in terms of gold. Now they're always ahead.
Yeah, Comment mentioned that on the desk as well. Dom also. Their earlier aggression is very noteworthy. They're much more of a tempo-based team. They want to push the early game. They want to go forwards. This is a shining example you would have to imagine as this game continues as to how they can play the early aggression. But they've got a Skarner composition, so they kind of want level 6. And I think that's when we'll start to see things really turn on and shift forwards as 5 decides to shield himself and lets Chelly get knocked out.
Scumbag support. But still, the lane is in favor of OMG. You'd have to think that these changes that have come out for BLG are going to help them out in the long run. Because they're previously known as a team that would sit back, they'd always be behind, they'd scale up into late game, try and make a miracle play. Now if they're getting ahead early, it must be much easier for them to execute those late game fights that we know them for.
See, that's where I absolutely agree that they will be able to execute their late game fights more successfully. Their average game time is still 40 minutes, so it's not that they get an early lead and they close the game at a record pace, something like IG would do. They still actually do go to that late game team fighting point, and that's where it's super curious to watch them play and see how they are able to actually translate leads into victories around the map, because it's still slow. It makes you wonder if Amazing J, being a big proponent of the shot calling of the team, is just necessitated. He has to be there, he has to team fight and contribute, and that's why they go late game.
Potentially. But still the same playstyle, just much better since they subbed in a new jungler and mid laner. Whereas Jericho is actually going to miss his E there, so doesn't get the stun down, doesn't collapse, and it's going to be Icon that takes so much damage. Mole is able to execute him. Jericho's now in trouble as well. Chieftain was waiting in the wings. 2 kills picked up so easily by BLG in the mid lane.
Chieftain in the right place at the right time, and they're trying to gank. They're trying to be aggressive OMG around the middle lane, maybe capitalize on a Zoe that has no flash. It's a pretty obvious target, however, so Chieftain's in the correct place at the correct time, and now you get to see some Mole stats on your screen just after he secures himself 2 extra kills, and those are some very flattering stats to say the least.
Yeah. First in KDA out of all the mid laners in the LPL, so we're playing well for BLG. We've already talked about Chieftain and Mole, and already in this match, they've been the crucial impact in the game.
I think the bottom lane is the one beacon of hope that you're looking towards for OMG, even already in this first game. We're 6 minutes in. There's a 2-0-1 Zoe. Starting to get towards the Seraph Embrace super early, and will likely one-hit the Caitlyn at most points, so 5 has the most important role in this game. And I would imagine the importance of that role comes to a point where you have to put like 5 levels in your Black Shield and max it first. It's one of those games, is the Morg.
Thankfully for OMG, their bottom lane has been able to reverse what happened at level 1. They're playing a lot better now. All eyes will be on 5 if he can protect the carries from Mole, who is getting incredibly fed at the moment. 2 kills already picked up, as you mentioned. Doing well against Icon in lane, and it's allowed Chieftain to access Jericho's jungle as well. He's 2 levels up over Camille.
It's also Amazing J here.
Amazing J able to connect with the Shadow Dash. Chieftain just flashes over. Easy pick for BLG.
Does feel like a bit of a cakewalk at the moment for BLG. They just go over to the red buff. Jericho decides to continue to hang around, gets in taunt range, and would you believe it, he gets taunted and he dies. Good night, Camille. No Ornn. Xiang doesn't bother coming over. There's no mid lane to assist. It's already losing.
I mean, the scary thing is there's nothing flashy coming out from BLG. This is just very simple, solid gameplay against OMG, and they're winning with it. Quite decisively at the moment.
Wasn't a real Ignite. Everyone calm down. Wasn't a real GLP either. He just happens to find them everywhere.
You take that back.
What do you mean?
If it's on the screen, it's real. It was a real GLP.
How can it be real if my eyes aren't real, Fish? Let me ask you that. Thanks, Jaden Smith.
I'm done.
I appreciate him
Did you
sometimes.
just reference Jaden Smith?
Absolutely. Shortly after I complained about him on Twitter. But, you know, that's me.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Oh, nice. Distraction. Nice. He's gone to bed, Fish.
Don't you change the subject on me. But yeah, Mole was able to put him to sleep. Doesn't get any damage for it. It's still exactly where we left off. BLG are in control of OMG's jungle. There's nothing much Jericho can do. He's still level 5 on Camille. Chieftain's still 2 levels ahead.
Yeah, I think we're about to hit that point in the game very early, I have to admit, where they start to threaten and pressure towards bottom lane. The jungle pressure, you can see it. It's a 2-level difference, like you mentioned. But mid lane is about to be unlocked constantly as well. And with mid unlocked, just walk bottom. Teleport's almost ready for them as well. Amazing J's got the Shen ultimate. I have full expectations that it's just going to be an EDG-esque dive down in the bottom lane.
Still up against a Morgana, who is, surprisingly, a level up over Jericho at the moment. Level 6 Morgana has the ultimate available to stop those dives. Chieftain,
all right, mate.
Calm down.
Dominance has been asserted. He is in control of the jungle. He really misses his people.
But like we were talking about in Champions League. This is exactly what we expect from BLG. We don't need... They can't have a game where they have to play flashy, where they have to do something short of a miracle to try and win the match. Against OMG, they need to win decisively like they are now. They need to keep doing this and continue into the late game. Try not to make those mistakes, which OMG are making quite a few in this match.
I like the little bait there from Road. The mind games that supports can play as a Rakan is always an exciting thing to watch against Morganas in particular. You know, when there's two people in a lane and a black shield can only hit one person, it's very obvious to say that you want to hit the person that doesn't get black shielded. But it's not always that simple against a Morgana. You have to try and get a feeling for how they play, for how they use the shield specifically, and then how you're going to countermeasure that. Road in that instance walks up to 5, throws the Q, and then knocks him up to see what he does if he spell shields. And it seems that now 5 is saving his spell shield only for Chelly. That's how it feels, and you would imagine that Road actually starts to threaten 5 in particular more. Maybe get the black shield onto him before he engages onto Chelly. It's a constant back and forth of mind games with the Morgana in lane.
Especially since Road has hit level 6 as well. You can dash in, try and get the knock up. If that target has been shielded, use the ultimate on the other. He's actually swapped out for Cleanse very early as well, trying to get rid of some of the crowd control that 5 will have in the bottom lane. Jekko's caught.
Jekko's not watching.
Takes him some time. Actually gets cancelled. Shen's coming down as well. This is going to be another easy pick for BLG. Let's see if Icon can get anything for it though. Honest travel down into the mid lane as well. Stopwatch being used by Mole to keep himself alive. Flashes away from the charge as well. Good damage on the CL. Icon's trying to get the assassination, but Zoe jumps on the wall, jumps back in. Is he alive? 5 is here looking for that kill. Ignite is ticking. 5 will get the first kill for OMG. They're looking for a big fight. Morgana ultimate is going to connect onto 2 people. Road's forced to flash away. Sion's taking Chieftain down low, but 5 already dead. Blast Cone knocks Sion back further into BLG territory. Chelly is also rotating into this fight. Chieftain is low, trying to hide with the wolves. Not going to work out for him. Skirmish actually trades in favor of OMG.
Yeah, in the end, OMG actually come out on top from that trade. It wasn't pretty, and it was not easy for them, but they do get what they're after. At the end of the day, I think that the AD carries not being able to contribute played a large part in this. It starts with Jekko getting caught, the hook shot's gone, so he is just dead. And Mole, he plays it so well to try and survive for as long as possible. The stopwatch timing was incredible, and then he flashes rather to safety, and it's after this when he's about to get assassinated. He ults out, he dodges it, and you think, oh my god, he's going to pull off the miracle, but there's an ignite from 5 who just walks up to him and uses the cheese button. From this point, there's no damage there actually from BLG. There's no Zarya able to contribute at all, and Caitlyn is not there either, but because there's no AD carries in general, there's still more damage from OMG with Icon still being there. They will end up winning the trade.
Yeah, OMG were able to keep their mid laner alive, allows them to trade against BLG. Still 2,000 gold behind against BLG. Jekko's going to try to do his best to pick up Rift Herald, and he does.
And that's what you get for actually winning a trade for the first time in this game. We're 12 minutes in, he's going to get out. Still, of course, he is being hunted by Chieftain. He is down in levels by 2.
Still 2 levels.
And 38 CS, and that's jungle CS in advantage for Chieftain, so he is massively far ahead. But he'll get a Herald. He'll actually get something, because OMG got something.
But look at how far behind he is. We already talked about the levels, the experience, and the gold, but item-wise, fully upgraded boots for Chieftain. He already has that Predator Keystone as well. Fully upgraded jungle items, whereas Jekko's just sitting on the components of his Warrior enchantment.
Even this red buff is bopping him. He's having a real bad experience. Now he's going to go over to the real raid boss of the Raptor camp.
Not having a great match so far, but Mole is not going to be locked down. He is able to dodge away from the Dark Binding, puts Icon to sleep before the Dark Shield comes out. Chieftain is now going to rotate into the mid lane as well, looking to lock him down. A parallel convergence is able to deter them from chasing any further forward, but Mole survives once again.
That's just really sad from 5, unfortunately, to not find himself the Binding. Means the kill goes completely missing. There was a very real chance that if that Binding connected, Echo had the ultimate, so he could have bursted him out for the remainder of the health bar. Picked up a Proto Belt afterwards, I believe, Mole, with using the ult at the end, so he would have been able to dodge any subsequent follow-up spells, but I feel like that was a kill that just went missing. It was creative from 5, however. He ganked from the top side.
There's that Proto Belt being used just to dodge away from Icon's damage. We also saw 5 use the shield a little bit too late, so Icon still went to sleep. That could have been the follow-up that he needed to actually get the engage going.
You know, I feel like there is an argument for when you're playing against Zoe to not build Proto Belt because she picks up your Proto Belt. You know, I feel like there is a world where in this game, you get the Revolver and then you just go Lich Bane or something. You know what I mean? Like, because what if she kills you with your own Proto Belt? That's embarrassing.
It's not real though, so it doesn't matter.
It's real damage.
No, it's not. If it's not a real item, it's not real damage, Rusty.
Right, now
you can't use your logic against me when I'm using my logic against you, okay?
You are a peanut.
That is factually incorrect. I am a human. Well, today I'm a chicken, at least.
That's also true. You're not a peanut. I concede.
BLG BLG is still trying to play around this bottom lane. Jekko's already down here and sitting on top of a control ward. Chieftain was not able to spot him out. I believe he just ducked back into Fog of War. But 3 members from BLG already down here. No teleport available for Siang or Icon. However, OMG just sacked the bottom lane out of turret. Give it to BLG. They're going to try and take control of the Dragon Pit as well.
Just towards the Mountain Drake with no real contest from OMG as a result of the tower already being taken. They have to deal with the minion waves on their side waves. At the same time, a lane that we haven't had a big chance to look towards is the top lane. They're nearing the level 11 point for Amazing J. And also just having that Shen ultimate with the shield increasing in size makes it really difficult to deal with.
Hang on, Mole's still being ganked in this mid lane. Jumps back in, taken down nice and easy.
Yep.
Jekko gets a kill, gets a nap as well, puts Rift Herald in the mid lane.
Mole's a big point of focus. BLG are not really, well I should say Mole is not really respecting the focus they're putting towards him, and now with the Herald spawning, the damage they can put on this mid lane outer turret will actually just be the structure. Chelly and 5 have even rotated nearby.
5's able to catch out Chieftain, doesn't use his ultimate to lock him down even further.
I feel like 5 could have.
They're going to continue chasing. They still have Rift Herald. They've rotated Caitlyn into the mid lane. On the way, pings are coming out from BLG. However, Siang is keeping Amazing J occupied. He can't teleport down to the bottom lane. He can't use his Stand United to get into this fight.
Herald thought he was a part of the team and tried to disengage as well. Then realized his place in the food chain. The OMG make a good decision. They actually just played that one out perfectly fine.
And from what was a very dominant, decisive game for BLG, now OMG are 1,000 gold behind from what was 3 to 4K earlier on.
Significantly closer than you would otherwise expect it to be, of course, between a team pushing for playoffs and a team with absolutely no chance of making playoffs. But still, OMG, the individual strength of their players is something that you always have to respect. And we've said that OMG have been underperforming all split, so to have individual performances is exactly what you want to see from them, because that can make the difference.
Oh, this is going to hurt from Mole. 5 takes so much damage.
Jekko even wanted to jump into the damage party. You know, maybe just take a chunk, so I have to recall as well. Constant pressure from Mole. He comes back, he doesn't use the teleport. And now he's able to threaten flanks. They have control of the jungle. They are in a strong place.
Now the Chieftain moves towards top side of the map. Ultimate's going to be used to drag it back further. Amazing J did get the Shadow Dash as well. Easy pick for BLG in the top lane, in between the top lane turrets.
And with OMG recalling, of course, Xiang doesn't back away quick enough. And he was trying. He was caught running away, but he wasn't able to get out to safety. And so he is made to punish for it. Good pickup again from a Zoe and a Skana. A major... Hang on. Not again. How many times do you reckon this can happen in a single game?
I can't tell if it's Mole that's throwing himself at OMG.
Oh yeah, it is.
Or if it's OMG that's picking him off.
Well, okay. They're going for the turret, right? So if I'm BLG, think of it, pretend you're Mole, okay? We've just picked off the top laner. Xiang is dead.
Okay.
We're going to go for the top lane turret, but we're also pushing the mid lane turret at the same time. And where should I stand? Well, you'd probably pick one, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just stand in the middle of the jungle where no one is.
He went in between the two turrets?
Yeah, he was standing in the middle. He was torn. You can't just Natalie and Brulio your way through the jungle. You get caught out of position. Did I say your name? I shouldn't ask you.
Say whose name?
Exactly. Never mind.
Now I'm just confused. To be fair, it's not an unusual feeling. Chieftain's going to get caught out here by 5. Still a level up over Jekko, but Siang's down the bottom lane means he can't go for any cheesy initiations here. None of his teammates are around either.
OMG actually recalling again. They've only just gone back from base. They placed all their vision. This is a funny thing you're seeing from 5. He's gone back, he's got his wards. He's literally just placed all of his wards at once, and now he doesn't have vision control.
He's being caught out here. Rogue gets an initiation. Jinjiao with the easy kill onto OMG support.
And look at where OMG's wards are, and then look at where 5 is recalling. This is a very fundamental thing, of course, that you can't really afford to do, but he's caught sleeping on a ward, and then does get killed straight away, backing for more vision. Just like that, BLG, they find themselves with the initiative, with the ability to push forwards. The composition is pretty good at it.
OMG looking for a fight. Ornhorn knocks up 2 people. Mole's able to dodge away from the displacement part of the ultimate, but just deters them for a little bit longer.
Pressure can still ensue, however, Fish.
Yeah, they're still going to try and clear out wards. Maisie J is proxy farming in between 2 turrets against Icon.
Yes, he is. I mean, Icon's not going to be too happy about that one if he can't step up to the turret. And he's full health. He is a full health Echo, but he is petrified of not just Amazing J, but everybody rotating up towards him. Chieftain does seem like a very smart player, and I do have to give a lot of credit to Chieftain for the way that he's able to play around the Rift. Gets experience, leads, translate that into picks very nicely on his Skarner. He's able to use that to get between top and mid lane excellently, using vision as well. And it feels like, even though he wasn't going top lane, by the way Icon played, you know, Chieftain was missing. Chieftain is therefore a threat, and they are respecting him as a threat, and rightly so. He's been doing a lot of work.
Do we expect this combo to be what BLG use moving into playoffs so they're able to secure their seed? Will they stay with Chieftain and Mole over SKS and Athena?
From what I can see, from the little tape that we do have of BLG with Chieftain and Mole playing, I think they look better. SKS has always been a tracking jungler in his prime. It was the old Rek'Sai, where he could move around the Rift silently, just use his Predator sense and try and find everybody, and ult to the other side of the map if he's in the wrong position. That's missing. So I don't know if SKS is near his best form anymore. And for Athena, I mean, there might be higher highs than Mole, but there's certainly lower lows. He's a sleepy Korean for a reason.
He's very sleepy in the mid lane. However, Mole has been making quite a few mistakes for himself in this match. We've already watched him a few times, running headfirst into OMG's jungle. And it's good that BLG have been able to identify and swap out their members to create a better team. For OMG though, they've had this same problem for the entire split. They can't quite decide who they're going to be fielding in the jungle. In fact, they can't even decide they want to field their jungler as an AD carry sometimes.
Yeah, Jericho's actually played AD carry this split. He played it last split as well, but you know, these things happen when you're OMG. And to talk towards the game state as well in this one, it's actually surprisingly well done from OMG to have the farm that they do at 21 minutes into the game. Both their mid laner and AD carry are over 200 CS. They've both got kills for themselves respectively. And they are scaling up into this game towards the mid and late game team fights where BLG tend to excel. I don't think the BLG are far enough ahead to say that a team fight's just a comprehensive victory for them. In fact, a lot of their lead is with the Shen. Amazing J now needs to maybe contribute to fights.
I mean, 4,000 gold is a decent lead for BLG, but not one that OMG can't fight back from.
And they can't put Zoe into a side lane either. She'll get caught out of position constantly by the Echo and the Camille combo. We've seen how successful that can be. But right now, she's switched to the Ghost, and she is committing to the side lane against the Echo.
Successful because of the combo, or successful because it's Mole?
Successful because of the combo, being assassins with crowd control and a 1v2 against the spell-slinging mid laner that is super fragile.
Also likes the portal jump forward from time to time.
Hell yeah, dude. The problem is, as a Zoe, if a Camille hookshots the wall, you can't ult to dodge it. Because she can just wait on the wall, and you have to come back eventually. They'll always catch you out of position. They're very good at doing that.
He just wants his little
it's a good little
spire.
I respect that.
You got it. Important to keep control of them. Allows Skarner to fight over objectives much easier.
Chieftain now working with Road to place vision down as well, so the Baron is the place that they're now setting up all of their focus for.
Which makes sense. 22 minutes into the match. There's not many other objectives that BLG can kind of push towards. Infernal Dragon's going to be coming up next, but still 3 to 4 minutes away. All the outer turrets are taken down. They're split pushing with Zoe and Shen. And they're keeping Zoe on the top side of the map, making sure that Amazing J is on the bottom lane so he can teleport up, making Mole's job rotating towards Baron and mid lane much easier.
Of course, the easy first step here for BLG is what they've already done, which is place the vision. Now they need to perhaps get themselves a recall in, re-establish their vision control and cement their control of the area. They could look towards a pick first if they would like. It's a matter of priority for BLG. And with the way that Jericho's posturing himself, he doesn't want to get caught, but he may find himself unwittingly caught to the power of a Rakan and a Skarner, rather, not a Rek'Sai.
No Rek'Sai in this match, not SKS. Chieftain's able to secure red buff for himself. Again, good vision control coming out from BLG, sweeping all the vision around Baron, making sure they take control of the red side of the jungle.
Yeah. Now they have absolute control of the area, and it requires something special from OMG, or forced from OMG, to close distance and get in. Mid lane priority is a way that OMG want to do this. But by walking through this area, they are still taking a risk. There is wards behind them, there is vision behind them, they can teleport for a fight if they choose to take this.
They're going to try and jump in. Icon has the Dark Shield. He's able to get away from some of the crowd control. Road forced to flash away from the ultimate. Junjiao does get stunned, but Rai's now going to try and jump back in. Locks down Jericho, takes so much damage. Jin Zhao's going to get good damage in the back lines. Chieftain should be able to take him down. Ultimate being used by Jin Zhao, forced to flash away. Already 1 kill onto the OMG lineup. Still trying to kite back away from this. Trouble Bubble's going to connect, and Taunt goes through as well. Good Dark Shield. Keeps Shelly alive a little bit longer. OMG still trying to fight back, but their tanky front lines take it down. Icon gets an assassination, jumps straight back out. Mole follows through over the wall, gets that kill. It's going to be an ace almost picked up by BLG here. Only Chelly left alive, still trying to run away. Mole is still trying to hunt him down as well.
There's not many places left for Chelly to go, and it does feel like this may be a death.
Jumps in, portal jump over the trap, chasing him down inside the Infernal Dragon Pit.
Crab is an MVP.
No net available for him, but Road will join the fight. Delayed ace, going to be picked up here by BLG.
The rest of BLG are already over to the Baron buff. They're looking forwards. They're trying to have their eyes set on taking this one down. Camille is sprinting over. The only hope remaining for OMG is that Camille can close the distance. But now Mole and Road are able to play goalie. And it's already going to be gone.
Yep, too little too late. Mole jumps over the wall. He's able to get the Baron buff with Paddle Star. And one team fight, which was forced there by OMG, gives BLG the opportunity to go 8,000 gold up and have Baron buff to work with.
And the crazy thing is that wasn't even the best executed fight of all time. And Amazing J was the person that I highlighted during the start of this fight. And he's the man that you're going to have to watch because OMG kick it off. They're going forwards. They're going aggressively. And right now, it doesn't look like they're going to commit to themselves. But then they turn it around, right? Rhodes got Amazing J on him. Amazing J comes in, taunts, and just doesn't have vision in the bush. So he just stops moving and does nothing for a solid sec and realizes he needs to come in and contribute. And then the next taunt that you see from him is on a black shield. So the Shen hasn't had this crazy impact, but he's so tanky that no one can get past him in this choke point to hit the rest of BLG. The team fight is effectively just a wash. It's super easy for them to pick up with Jin Zhao freely hitting the whole time. We're back.
Icon's been caught out here by BLG. They're chasing him down. He's running the wrong way. That's not your base. Can he escape this one, Rusty?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, he's trying to take Paralock Convergence back out. Ultimate being used by Jin Zhao to avoid the
Oh,
stun.
actually, he's doing it. He's switched directions.
BLG chased too far. Icon's able to dodge away, gets back to safety.
They tried to route him to give him no real way out and surround him completely, but very expertly done from Icon is choose direction shifts at the right time, and he actually does get himself out. There was only one chance to do that. Your Icon.
Played it well. Even got the ultimate out of Jin Zhao there. Relieves some pressure away from OMG. They even get a turret for themselves. Top lane outer turret was already low from Seung's pushing. Gets taken down by minions.
Icon is trying his little heart out, Fish. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of the LPL this split, or OMG specifically, I should say, in the LPL, but they've had a very rough split. Icon's had some good moments, however, as has Chelly, when the stars align and they're able to shine in all of the map victories that OMG have secured for themselves. More often than not, Icon and Chelly are doing probably the largest amount of damage they possibly can contribute to the map. It's about what is in front of them. You know, what is able to actually allow them to do this work? Can 5 set them up to succeed? Can Jericho or Xiang have a good game? And more often than not, the answer has been no for them this split.
Yeah, Jericho's not having a good match either in this first set. Moving back into the game though, they're still trying to push for this bottom lane in a turret. Jin Zhao and Rogue getting good damage onto it, using Baron buff quite nicely. Still have Amazing J on the top side of the map. So looking for a pick in the mid lane. Mole's going to get locked down. Zonya's used, but he's on top of Paralock Convergence, but not jumped on by Icon. Means Amazing J is able to join the fight, gets the first kill into Jericho. Forces Icon out.
I wonder if Icon was just respecting the taunt perhaps a little bit too much. Doesn't commit himself to Mole. The flash was there for the Zoe, so if they play it safe and they choose to just sacrifice their Camille. It was a Trinity Force building warrior Camille anyway, so he is just going to die quickly no matter what. And now they try and hold their base.
But Road goes for the initiation, is able to lock down Icon. Shelly takes so much damage. He's almost dead. Icon killed during an Ascana ultimate. No opportunity to use his own to get back to safety. Means that Inhibitor turret and Inhibitor are going to be taken down.
Another day in the office for BLG, sieging through the middle lane. OMG, they tried to mount a defense this time, but they have no real opportunity to do it successfully. From the point where the Baron was secured, BLG have been far too far ahead. And coming back into a game like this is going to be nothing short of a miracle from the OMG side to even get close to it. It's not just one team fight that they have to win, it is several.
I'm going to start by trying to get that pick onto Mole, one that they missed out on earlier. But Teleport's already coming down into the bottom lane to help him out. 5 flashes forward, locks him down with the ultimate. Sion's going to get good damage down as well. Chieftain's waiting on the sideline, seeing if he can jump into the fight too. Amazing J.
He's pretty tanky, so.
Very tanky. Shadow dashes in between 2 champions. Does a lot of damage to 5. Not going to be enough to take him down. Jericho locks him down. They reckon they can pick a fight.
He's going to take a long time to die. I don't think they can kill him. I think they should start running away.
I think they just realized that they can't kill him. Finally, OMG decided to settle for that single pick onto Mole, back away. Does delay BLG from taking the Infernal Dragon.
At this point, it's just Mole things. Everyone else from BLG is just winning the game pretty casually. Mole gets caught. OMG try and find him, and it's still happening.
Stop hitting Shen! He's so okay, now they're going to teleport. Now he's forced to respect it. Xiang's going to flash forward as well. Teleport's going to be complete from Icon. Doesn't jump into the fight in time.
They've got a minion wave crashing down here, so if they really want to, they could try and push forwards, but Jin Zhao's finally arrived as well, a Chieftain. He's stepping up.
It's going to get locked down. Xiang's ultimate's back up. That's how long this fight has gone for. Icon gets the first kill. Road goes for the initiation, but takes so much damage. Double kill picked up by Icon. Jin Zhao's trying to run away. Has Amazing J's ultimate, looking to lock people down. Xiang gets caught out. Jericho dies over the Dragon Wall. 2 kills for Jin Zhao.
What killed him? Was it the Dragon? The Dragon's not even aggro. They're still going.
I think it was the Feathers. Icon forced to flash away. Takes so much damage. Paddle Star, not going to be enough, but the zap coming out from Zoe is. Chelly still trying to kite away from this one. Looks to try and kill. Jin Zhao jumps forward to the 90 caliber net. Gets that kill, but Amazing J's just too damn tanky. And poor 5, stuck in the bush, jumped on by Mole. Delayed ace, picked up by BLG.
What do we call that? Was that a team fight? Was that just a 7-minute long skirmish? I mean, Amazing J flashed away, ulted back in. They're still going. Super Minions are pushing in the mid lane and hasn't gotten anything. And nothing really happened.
Both teams jumped into the clown car and went for a little bit of a fiesta there. Wasn't pretty, but BLG still won eventually. And OMG tried to force that fight so far away from their base.
I don't think that OMG are looking for pretty. I don't think BLG get a choice in the matter. OMG are just trying to fight. They've decided that they're just going to go forwards constantly and eventually they'll win one. They're playing the probability game here. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so they're just going to take 100 shots and try and hit the 1%er.
Can they hit the 1% though? Because 12,000 gold behind against Baron buff, against Infernal Dragon that's now been picked up by BLG.
You're asking that like a question?
Yes.
Is that really it?
No. They tried. They look promising. We're getting a couple picks.
They're getting kills. Like, they are still trying to stay in this game. And look, if it goes for another 10 minutes, you could ask the question again.
Okay.
And then we might have a different answer. But another 10 minutes is a long time with an 11,000 gold lead in favor of BLG.
Yeah, we'll check back in when Gathering Storm looks to be a bit promising. No idea if anyone's running it. Chelly probably has it, but Baron's going to come up in 20 seconds. You'd have to expect BLG try to force a fight around there. Almost feels like Jericho has to try and steal Baron away. Or OMG have to try and pick a perfect fight around Baron to have any chance of even coming back into the match.
They have to try and assassinate Mole, but he's got a Seraph's Embrace and he's got his Zonya's Hourglass. They've just given the kill over to Jin Zhao.
The Gromp kill.
Set up to, yeah, the Gromp kill. To set up to buy an item. It's like a Death's Dance. It's itemization at the moment. Mercurials is going to be done. There you go.
Why doesn't Raz do that when we play with him in the jungle? Why doesn't he hold the camps to let his carries take it? It's not very nice.
I am not at liberty to discuss Raz's jungle tendencies on air, as I would feel mean. And I do not wish to be mean to Raz.
Yeah, I do it all the time. It's fine.
He did say I have a big forehead. That was very upsetting.
So BLG are still trying to control Baron Pit at the moment. And they've got vision control. They have the gold advantage. They can win fights. Charlie's going to go to sleep. Did they get the damage for it? No. Road actually go for the initiation. They lock down Icon. He wasn't the main target. Takes too much damage. Falls. And now BLG look for that full team fight. Jericho's locked out, taunted by the Shadow Dash that comes out from Amazing J. And BLG find a cheeky pick onto Icon. Now they're just going to look to try and end the game.
Who else was going to stand in front of Chelly? Icon's gone. It's just going to keep happening.
Oh, Chelly's dead anyway. Mole was able to take him down. They tank the turret. They've got no minions. Frankly, BLG don't care.
Not at all. Minions will come in eventually, and it should be enough to help them close. And you know what? The inhibitor's back alive. They do care now. They're going to have to back away and kill the inhib first. 20-odd seconds on Icon and Jericho. I think they've got enough time regardless. Take the inhib, take the game away from OMG.
OMG did their best to stall out the game, and they were able to come back through the early and mid-game, but it wasn't enough. BLG able to close this one out nice and easy in set number 1.
Yeah, the best of OMG is not going to be enough in this game when it comes to stalling it out. They were snowballed. They were ahead too far too early. Took him a second. There he goes. Synergy, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a high five, handshake, hand grab, something.
That's what rookies in a team looks like. Amazing J was too focused on looking at his damage dealt as the Shen. He was a big part of the carrying in that game. No time to shake hands.
we can give him a lot of we can give BLG a lot of props to how they were able to get such a large gold lead. But OMG, there was a point in the match where they were able to fight back. BLG had a good early game. They showcased a lot of dominance. Jekko was so far behind, but they still found the picks, made their way to about 1,000 to 3,000 gold only behind BLG. But it just fell apart.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where you have to explore for BLG, you know, why was it that OMG were able to get the picks? Not even so much how did OMG get the picks, but why were BLG susceptible to those? Because that's what you have to look at as the most important thing here. Mole was just constantly caught. They put a lot of presence in mid lane. They picked the Echo, they picked the Camille, and they were able to take him down multiple times, stepping forwards on the Zoe. And to me, that's just an easy fix. He doesn't need to be Zoe in the first place. I think his Zoe's good, and he does a lot of damage with it. But if he's against 2 assassins, he doesn't need to pick the Zoe. He can still be something like the Galio that he's very good at, of course, taking the bans out of the equation here. There's other champions that he has got in his repertoire that he could actually play and do just as well on without having the deaths to be sacrificed there for his team's success. But for the most part, whilst Mole was getting caught out of position time and again, Chieftain's still the shining light of this BLG roster at the moment. He played very well.
Was able to shut down Jekko, who was 2 levels behind him during that entire match. And again, although we can say that Mole can change his champion, could play something different, was it really the champion that was the problem? Or was Mole the problem, running headfirst into OMG's jungle every single time he could?
It's makeup. You cover the champion. If the champion was a problem, you pick a different champion. If he's caught out of position with a Galio, the chances of him dying is a lot less. So there's ways to fix the problem if the problem still persists. And I think that's something that they could look towards. But you know what? It was an OMG game. I'm not sure BLG's mid laner came in with 100% thought on where Camille was at any time. How do you even know where a level 3 Camille is when your jungle is level 6 running around killing people?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. Hopefully they have their makeup wiped so and have a better game in game number 2. OMG looking to try and fight back as well. Remember, they can't make it into playoffs, but still looking to try and rebrand the team, see what they can do. For now, though, let's send it back to the analyst desk to break down that game.
Thank you so much, guys. A great performance from BLG in that game 1 to finally lock down one step closer. Of course, if they 2-0 the series, they will claim that final playoff spot. And oh, hi there. Good game. Good game.
That took you so long to give me a high five.
I'm just trying to be Amazing Jay here and shot call our way through the analyst desk. So let's actually get into breaking down what happened in that game, because of course we heard from the casters ourselves that Zoe was a little bit questionable for Mole and Chieftain, but it definitely paid off in the early game.
Yeah, so this is basically the new BLG. They like to play a lot of like skirmishing and like fighting comps that do so in the enemy jungle, and I actually disagree with Rusty a little bit here. I really do like the Zoe for Mole. I think he could have improved his play, but I feel like the Zoe was fine. This is the new style of BLG. However, we do have to talk about the strategy from OMG. They did have side selection. They chose red side, and they also gave the last pick to Icon. So it is as how we predicted. They do want to find the early skirmishes and the hero plays from Icon.
Yeah.
However, they didn't find it.
Not how it started.
They started 0 and 5 in the mid and jungle.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're gonna give them a flat F on the
and F for effort.
Strategy. They tried. No, for failed. But okay, but you can go with that, softening the blow right there. And this isn't the first time we've seen a horrible game from Jekko. The last time he started Camille, he actually went 0 and 6 to start. So
yeah,
I would say don't play the Camille. It's a very snowbally champion. It is a warrior into Triforce type of champion. And I really don't think Jekko's at the level where he can play this champion and utilize all of its strength to have that good early game in snowball. I would much rather him just go on something like the Sejuani and call it a day.
Well, now that being said, we did see OMG make at least some plays during the mid game, collecting in the mid lane to actually force a fight onto an unprepared BLG.
And this is definitely what the casters were talking about a little bit, overplaying their hand. Mole did die earlier in the team fight here. He almost survived. He had some great plays. They caught Jekko window shopping, and he had some great flashes coming around the corners, you know, dodging out. I thought he was dead here. And the mechanics on this guy is amazing.
Yeah, and again, this is where we look at the new BLG sort of overstaying their welcome. And this is something that happens multiple times throughout the game.
The big note here is that 5 does arrive at the scene earlier, is able to pick down the mid laner. However, on the other hand, sorry. Other hand, Icon does stay alive and is able to clean up that entire fight, and that gives OMG their first big win around the series. They catch Mole another time, and with the Herald push, they look like they're about to come back into the game.
That being said, those were the only turrets they ended up taking the entire game with that Herald push. So again, it was just constant pick after pick for BLG, finding OMG making mistakes and punishing them for it. Though again, they did overstay their welcome multiple times in the jungle. A Mole specifically just randomly being in between, like at the enemy red buff. When he could have been top, he could have been mid, but he's neither.
Oh yeah, so this game felt like it dragged out a little. It dragged out a lot when it didn't need to, and it was because of Mole being picked off 3 times in a row for no apparent reason that gave OMGs those chances back in the game. However, we do have to look at the fight that BLG finally put the stamp on and say, you know, enough is enough.
Now we're
not going to go on with this anymore. And it does start with OMG trying to find a pick. Icon trying to push his luck here, and great flashes coming out from Road right here. And just look at Jaco. He's really brittle, and he oversteps so far into the ramp, doesn't find any single targets, gets pinned down immediately. Icon still can't find that W. It's a very finicky champion, the Echo. It's very difficult to find clear wins on him, and BLG are able to track him down one by one and finally find a big teamfight win that leads them into the Baron.
The raw damage funneling out of that choke point to force OMG back. That being said, that's capitalizing on OMG's mistake, capitalizing on OMG's picks to propel them towards that point in the game. Clement, I have to ask a very straightforward question.
Okay.
Does a better team in playoffs make these kind of mistakes? Does this strategy work against IG or Rogue Warriors?
No.
Okay, all right.
And this is a big reason why BLG might be the best team we're currently seeing in the West, but they're still not very high up on that hype train. You know, we still don't think that, okay, this is a team that's going to make semifinals. Like, it's like, probably not.
It might be an upset if they do.
Yeah, this is a good testing ground for Mole because we do see great individual mechanics from him. We haven't seen great smart brain plays from him, you know? And the final point on that, and to go into like why Mole isn't, you know, one of the better mid laners currently, he was picked off, and then OMG and BLG entered a 99 seconds team fight.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, we can say this. OMG, you got 99 problems, but a fight ain't one. So, like...
You absolutely can. I mean, that we saw that Zoe die in the beginning and then come back. Now, Mole will take our man of the match, though, with his performance in that game. 10, 4, and 7, though he did get caught out a few times. He was absolutely assassinating the backline.
Yeah, 35% of the team's damage. This is the new BLG. This is how they want to play. They want to find picks around the mid and jungle and punish you for your early game. So, teams have to beware. This isn't the old BLG. You have to fight them early.
It is something new. Question is it enough? If BLG closes the series out 2-0, they lock in playoffs. Can they do it? We'll find out after just a short break.